hold the bitch. Gotta hold the bitch. Mm, mm, mm. My job just fired me, nigga. On to the next money route. If you get fired, nigga, there ain't nothing you can do, nigga, except for smile. Dead ass. Dead ass. And it's like I can't even be mad though, you feel me? Like, there was things I could have did to have prevented it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say I was bad at my job. You feel me? I feel like I was really good at it. I put in a lot of OT. That's the thing that sucks. You could be putting OT for a job. You could be trying to show initiative that you're trying to work longer hours, work more, and they'll still get you up out of there just because you're not, if you ain't doing, if you ain't, I don't want to say not following the rules, but I guess it would be saying not following the rules if you ain't doing the policies, if you ain't sticking to their program strictly how they want you to. It might back your ass up. And you can't be mad about that. Rules are rules, policies are policies, instructions are instructions. If you work for a place, that's how it go. The worst thing you can ever do, I'll tell y'all right now, the worst thing you can ever do is be one of those people, you work a job and you're just like, brother, this shit don't make sense. That's dumb. Why do we do this? Da, 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 da. I mean, it's okay to think that. It absolutely is. I think that about a bunch of jobs, and I think everybody thinks that about their job, but it gets to a point where you have to just be like, nigga, this is my job, though, okay? If you don't like that, change it. That's all you can ever do in life. If you don't like something, change it. Quit your job. Lose your house, become homeless, find something else to do. Get it off of, start doing homeless TikToks and shit, you know what I'm saying? Start getting donations on live. You can live a life however you want to live it. It's just like you gonna bitch and I think that's one of the biggest problems today in today's world. Is like, don't get twisted. A bunch of the things that we have to deal with as human beings and like the way the system is set up, it is annoying. It is hard, but it's just like the way I look at it is it's always been that way. You know what I'm saying? Like even when people were in medieval castles, there was niggas who were the kings and queens in the nice little areas, and then there was the peasants. You know what I'm saying? People who wore cheaper clothes and just rags and shit like that. And there's people who have more money and this and that. It's always been like that. It's always been rankings. That's how humans operate. And people will be like, that's why we need to go back to like the native days when people just traded. Even back then, there was a tribal chief and he had final say, and you followed the rules of the community. Like, it's just inevitable. Don't complain, play the game. That's what I'd be saying. Don't complain, just play the game. That's all you could do. Just play the game. And, this is the level I'm on right now, you know what I'm saying? It's time for me to reach, and it's time for me to go to a different level. You know what I'm saying? All my levels and all the things I go through and you go through are just to help you ascend. It's just about how you decide to look at it. No matter what. Even if, you know what I'm saying? And it's easy for me to say this, but one, because it can always be worse. And two, if it is, I think looking at your pain and your struggles is a way you should look at, like, me overcoming those things is my way into heaven. That's how I look at it. When I go through these trials and tribulations, I look at, like, this is me showing that I'm going to get into heaven by staying persistent and believing in God and not giving up on myself and giving up on my life just because it's not going the way I want. And it's crazy. And, I'm not saying this because, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not coming on here to be like, damn, nigga, I ain't got no job. Which is crazy because I just got a new place. Like, look at my little yard. I got a shedder tent, nigga. It's lit. I'm still happy. My bills are going to get paid because, I'm not the type to sit on my ass. And I wouldn't move into a new place with just no bucks. You feel me? Don't do that. Unless you got to. I recommend that you really don't do that. Yeah, I don't recommend you do anything of a big purchase without having bucks. on the back end. You buy a car, you need bucks on the back end if it ends up randomly breaking, tire pops, this blah, 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 blah. New crib, you have some bucks on the back end. You have a kid, you have some bucks on the back end. You do anything that's a big little, have some bucks on the back end, okay? Because life is unpredictable. But life is about gambling because it is unpredictable. So sometimes you gotta go all in on something and have $20 to your name afterwards, and you pray that that shit holds up for at least a month or two while you get some more bucks. And I think that's just so beautiful. I think it's beautiful. That ass. Like, yesterday I was having a hard time about it because it's annoying because, when you have a job, what I'm saying, that's your stable income. So then when you don't have a job, you can get money every day. There's a thing called InstaWork. You can get money every day, bro. So there's no excuse to not be getting some money still. And that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. But, yesterday I sat in my depression about it a little bit. Today I just went cool a little bit. Tomorrow, time to get to somebody, okay? You know what I'm saying? I don't like struggling, so I like working. I prefer to work than to struggle. That's just me. And, struggling is so different on everybody's spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people think they're struggling right now because, they only have enough to pay for the roof over their head, eat food, and this and that. And I'm like, bruh, sometimes I think the biggest problem is, like, in the world, especially America, we're not even in the world in America, but these are every time I think about these issues, I'm like, bro, I only complain about this, or people complain about this, or this isn't even something in my mind because I'm an American, because I live in America, where I'm allowed, where I can make videos on my fucking iPhone, whatever. This is the newest iPhone, or I think it is. I don't even know when they come out. 4K, 60 frames per second on my phone, and just talk about this in front of my yard and this and all this. There's another person who's in a shack and shed throwing dirt around and laughing and having no idea that there's better in the world. See, that's the biggest thing too. So many of us think we're living like, dang, we work just to live. Like, bro, that's like a lot of people. People work just to live. People are in shacks and sheds, and they're literally walking around with just transporting water just to get it back to their kids and some food, and then they go about it the next day. That's their way of working. Their currency is getting that water and all that. In the end, you always got to work. I remember one thing, Coach Stu, you hoed me as a football player, but as a person, you taught me a lot. As a person, you taught me a lot. You said things to me that stick with me to this day. But as a football player, you hoed me, nigga, because you didn't believe in the small back. But, that's neither here or there. What I'm saying is, yeah, bruh, you're going to work. You're going to have to work. If you don't want to work, then to not work is to die. Let's say you quit your job and you're just like, no, I don't want to work. I'd just rather be a homeless hippie. Okay, let's say you're on that vibe, like you're in the 80s or something. You still got to wake up every day and figure out how you're going to beg people for money, steal something for money, sell something quickly for some money to eat the next day. And that would be your work for the day. Even when people retire, they still might get into something here and there just to make money here and there, because you're just going to always work. Or you retire and all you do is you work on your yard all day. And you work on your houses, or you get into some type of craft. Work is life. So stop complaining about it. Stop complaining about it. Work is life. It's a part of life. Everybody has to work. People have been working forever. Like I said, even if you want to try to say back in there, bro, once upon a time, nigga, you had to wake up and you and your niggas was like, shit, nigga, it's time to go out into the wilderness and go find some type of wild boar and kill it. And before you learned how to craft weapons, these niggas had to figure out how to kill things because they just had bare hands. Trapping these motherfuckers, and then another nigga bring the rock and smack his head. That was a lot of work to do, and you had to pick that nigga up, quarter it, whatever you had to do, and then carry it all the way back to the village whenever you finally did find food. Work is life. Learn to accept work. Stop being scared of work. And that's why so many people aren't where they want to be in life too. You scared to put the work in. Like I understood that when my coach told me that, he said work. He said you're always gonna have to, because this is what he said. He said you're always gonna have to work. Work is literally life, no matter what. He said, don't you even see some of the best NFL players who made millions will still like go into something just to keep making some money, just to keep working, just to keep doing something, just to keep being productive, just to keep contributing to society in whatever way you do. And it's real. And it's super real. And like as I got older, I always would think about when he had that talk with me, and I just always realized like that's what it is, bruh. To be successful is how much work you want to put in. And don't get it twisted. A lot of it does take some luck. Because, you know what I'm saying, I bet you there's another Francis Ngannou out there in the world, but he wasn't lucky enough that when he tried to escape, that he didn't get shot or that he didn't get recaptured and all that. And that when he got to America, he got put into a pathway that was fighting, because a lot of these Africans, they don't come to America thinking like, oh, I'm physically dominant, I should just be going into the UFC to make millions. They're thinking like, what can I do to become a part of a society and be safe? It's all about where your mind is at. That's what is the biggest thing. Where is your mind at? And how much work do you want to put in on the things your mind are focused on? That's a banger. I just said some heat for y'all. That's a banger. That's a banger. And I know bangers. That is what life is. What is you putting your mind towards? How are you looking at the world? How are you looking at life? And then what is the work you're putting in towards that life? That's a banger. That's a banger. And that's because it's just real life, nigga. Niggas gotta keep working. You got to keep working. You got to keep working. And it's unfortunate so many people have become like afraid of putting the work in. Because now so many people, or they think like, I don't know. And like I said, it's just twisted because we're in America. You know what I'm saying? And I get it though. It's just everybody's so mind is just so twisted that we don't realize how sick we're living. Because realistically, by all the principles so many people swear they claim to live by and all that, most of us should have been made so much money in America to go to different countries to start doing new things in those countries. Like everybody who's an American really should be like a boss in another country. Deadass. That's low-key kind of the method too, now that I'm saying it out loud. Like, bro, the US dollar is so crazy in some places. Like, I know this because I just know foreigners. When you live in the state of Washington, you don't come across a lot of foreigners. It's very diverse here. But foreigners be making their dollars here and going back to their country, and they're literally that nigga. Like, there's Africans that come out here, they'll make like 10 bands. You know what I'm saying? I say like 10 bands is like, it's literally nothing in America, but that's like, bro, you and 3 of your homies come up on 10 bands, go back to your country where like literally the US dollar, $1 in your country is 100. When how big is spread, like however many, I can't think of it off the top of my head, bro. Isn't that like, I don't know. But that's what it's like. I'm trying to tell you, people will be going back to their country and then they'll build them up like a mansion. I'm so serious, like a mansion. I've seen this. I've seen pictures of it. I've seen like when my other African homies have ever went back to their home country, and they're sending pictures of how they're living back there. And then here, I'm not gonna say they're like living terribly or anything, but like by the standards of Americans and whatnot, like how you would look at how most people would look at them, they'd be like, oh, okay, they're living, you know, they're they're living in this terrible world that we're stuck in. It's because they just go back home, build the benches, be able to keep the land because they paid off like that shit for like a year easily, and then they come right back and they get back to working, get they, you know, stay in that 10 band range, and then they go back, keep at it, you know what I'm saying? You do that, you become a boss back in another country, then you get more money from being a boss out there, different opportunities, and then come back to America and keep building on your American empire that helps fund the easier ones. Like, it's so meta, nigga. It's tech. It's tech, bro. When people in America just, people, like, bro, realistically, Americans are just too greedy. Think about it, even for people to have came to America very, very early in the beginning was out of greed. It was people who were already rich being like, nigga, send some boats to go find, but we need to find resources to get more money so we can have more power. And then it was people who were struggling, trying to have more than what they already had. They were willing to get on a boat and die to go start a new life and hope that they would get more in the next. No guarantee. You hoped. That's the thing too. A lot of people, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? And it's no different, like I said, for the people who are coming from different countries. They want a better life. That's greed. Because, like I said, even if your life is just a shed and dirt, it's still beautiful. Like, that's still a beautiful life to live. It's crazy how nowadays, like, people just don't look at, like, how beautiful your life is to live. There's so many people who will want to be in your position, and that alone should give you all the clout and fame in your head that, like, has psyched so many people out in America. So many people want your position, believe it or not. So many people want your position, which nobody should want nobody's life. Realistically, that's what it's really supposed to be. But because it's not, it's human nature to want to, like, you know, want more and strive, and it's like, it's part of, like, our sinful ways of greed. But like I was saying, so many people, that's why so many people be on social media in America trying to be like mini celebrities, but it's like, you already are your own mini celebrity. Like, that's how I look at myself these days. Like, dead ass. Like, I don't know. I don't, like, bro, the last celebrity I can literally think that I ever kept up with was JD Young, and that's because I was listening to his music since I was like 15 or 16. And when he died, I was literally fucked up about it. I didn't like that shit, but since then, like, I guess the next closest thing was kind of Rod Wave, but I don't know. Rod Wave's personality, like, we're Virgos, and, you know, he just not showing the side that would be appreciated more, but, you know, it's a vulnerable thing to do, I feel it. Because, like, he just puts it in the music. He don't really speak on it too much. You be probably, I guess, paid and so much paid. Should be paid, built up deep inside. And we gotta try to control it. Oh, but the anger built up deep inside can lead you to explode. Yeah, nah. But that ain't even some of the deepest shit he done ever said. Like, that's just a basic thing to really say. And it's so real though. And sometimes that's what it be, nigga. It's the simple shit. We're simple people when we look at ourselves that way. And that makes us easier. That makes things easier. Like, duh, we are complex, but bruh, it's simple. Like, now that I got this new spot and shit. Like, it just seems so simple. It's like, just take care of my family, take care of my yard, take care of my dogs, and just, strive for my dreams and shoot for the moon. If I land on the star, is great. That's it. And along that path, there's going to be plenty of moments that are going to make me cry, make me mad, make me sad. This life is going to happen. And that's why I can be happy. If that makes sense. Because then you're just in a position where you know it's the same for everybody. So why not just be happy with the game you're playing? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're playing an actual video game. You died at some dumb shit. That everybody dies that. Okay. Oh my God, siege timing. Everybody goes through siege timing. There's going to be times in your life where it's just like, boom, it's right there. It's just that moment where it could have either went your way or it didn't. And there's going to be just times where it's like you're doing the best thing you can do. You're holding a pixel peak, and sometimes life just hits you with a mean pre-fire. You couldn't react to it, and you roll with it. You move on to the next round, and you just hope that you come up and you get yours more than you get God. Like Wave, but another GOAT. I guess this is my nigga Marshawn Lynch. I wish he had a podcast where he just talked more about maybe some stories or some shit. Bro, I gotta meet that nigga at least once, bro. That's one of the realest niggas. But when he said, I know I'm gonna get got though, but I know I'm gonna get mine more than I get got though. And that's real. That's what life is. You gotta just get yours more than you get got though. You gonna get got. It's life. And that's what makes it just so filthy and fun. It's like you get to have your own trials and tribulations to look back on, and then like maybe you meet somebody and you guys kind of went through the same thing, then you can kind of be like, oh man, that's crazy. Like I just feel like, and that's the thing. So many of the problems we go through, literally another person has went through, even though we think we're so alone with it. That's why there's literally groups, Facebook groups where people meet up, sobriety groups, all that. Because niggas is going through the same shit. Like, for real. Of course, it's not exactly the same, and it didn't happen at the same time on this day, at this temperature and all that. But it'd be the same traumas and effects, and, you will essentially be going about it or reacting to it in one way kind of the same. And gotta work through it kind of the same. Like, what you mean? That's why when you feel like someone can, that's why people, don't want to listen to someone who came from $1 million family or something and complain about, dang, my car broke down. This is just fucked up. I've never had my car break down. And you're like, nigga, I come from cars breaking down all the time, and I had to buy $1,000 buckets every other 4 months, just because if I didn't keep the car, I wasn't gonna be able to keep my job and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, bruh, that's what's so crazy too. In this world, in America, they found a way to make us judge each other's pain. It's crazy, cause it's like, bruh, when you come to real life terms, bruh, you understand when someone's just feeling pain, they're feeling pain, and you should never be feeling like you can just belittle that just because you've been through worse. You see how when you say certain things calmly and just out loud, how stupid it sounds? To belittle somebody's pain just because you've been through more. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to be the person you wish you had in those moments when your pain wasn't even that crazy, when it was just your first time you had to buy another car. just because the bucket broke down. You wish there was someone who you was probably talking to like this, and they was like, dang, oh yeah, nah, bro, I guess, hey, sure, you gotta be careful, because the next thing you know, you might have but I'm here for you, bro, I hear you, but it's just this is crazy, bro. I feel like it's so crazy. This little window with the sun and just looking at this yard just got my mind just feeling so calm again. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It took a lot to get to this point. A lot of teamwork. You know what I'm saying? I gotta thank my girl for real. But it took a lot to get to this point. I gotta thank God, man. God has made it. God has made it a journey. It's been a good one. You know, like my story is just like, what you mean? Nobody can tell me. Like my story is a story. And everybody got one. Like I got one to tell them. Like I got a son on the way. I got a story to tell him. I got a story to tell him. You know? All those ups and downs. What I keep striving for is like, I got a story to tell him. I'm gonna be able to sit there and tell him about just the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Being born, not even in this state, you know, I'm from Indiana. I moved all the way out here with my mom, just as a youngin', and up until the 7th grade, I never spent more than 1 year out of school. Just bouncing around, man, bouncing around. And then the 7th grade, I went to a school 2 years in a row for the first time. And that was, like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? And after that, you know, there's just plenty of things that go on through life from middle school to high school. Get out of high school, I get cancer. Right? You know, they always tell you, like, when you get out of high school, you know, you're gonna have your whole life ahead. That's all you're thinking. That's all they're telling you. Like, you're about to go into this next phase. You got teachers crying and whatever, students crying, and people are making it a big thing. And the first thing that I gotta deal with is cancer. I was just like, wow. And, you know, it's like an altering one, you know what I'm saying? I got this patch there. I'm not doing the most, but y'all can see it. I had to get a skin graft on my head and all that, and then, you know, I graduated at 19, so then soon I was 20, me at 21, legally allowed to drink and all that shit, and then it's like you get into your early 20s, and then like, bro, it's crazy, because you got the same thing. But it's like, it's just cool to hear everybody's story, bro. Like, because I'm like an owl, bro. Very observant, you know. When I talk, I just talk. What I was saying? No, that's a pigeon. They'll be like, who? Or something. I don't know, bro. I just, who? I don't know. I'm going to look up owl voices, but I just be chilling. I'm more observant, looking. And I love to hear anybody talk. When someone wants to talk about some real shit, I can sit there and listen to it every time. We need more conversations like that. This video was coming up on 30 minutes. I'm going ahead and end it. I don't even know what to call this video. It's just, I don't know. You have a story. Until you die, I know I'm gonna be trying to make my story as great as possible. All right, I'll catch y'all.